Hello everyone. It's so good to be with you today. I want to talk about something truly magical, something that can open up new worlds and connect you with people you've never met. I'm talking about learning a new language, specifically English. Sometimes the journey can feel long and difficult. You might encounter words you don't understand or grammar rules that seem confusing. It can be easy to feel discouraged, to think it's just too hard. But remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. Every new word you learn is like finding a key to a new door. Think of it like being an explorer. You have a map. You are setting out on a great adventure. The map is your desire to learn. The destination is fluency. Along the way there will be mountains to climb and rivers to cross. These are the challenges of learning. With each challenge you overcome, you become stronger and more confident. You discover new things about the language and about yourself. You find out you are capable of more than you imagined. This journey isn't just memorizing vocabulary, it's about growing as a person and expanding your horizons. In a small quiet town nestled between green hills, there lived a young baker named Leo. Every morning before the sun even thought about rising, Leo was in his bakery. The warm, sweet smell of fresh bread and pastries filled the air around his small shop. People in the town loved Leo's baking. They said he had a special talent, a kind of magic in his hands. Leo was happy with his life, but he had a secret dream. It was a small seed of an idea planted in his heart a long time ago. Leo's grandmother was from England, and when he was a little boy, she would show him pictures of her home. She told him stories about the big red buses in London, the beautiful green countryside, and the grand old castles filled with history. She also had a collection of old English cookbooks. The pages were filled with recipes for things like scones, Trifle's Victoria sponge cakes. Leo couldn't read the words, but he would look at the beautiful pictures for hours, imagining the delicious flavors and textures of these amazing desserts. He dreamed of one day visiting England and learning to bake these traditional English treats. The dream felt very far away, almost like a fairy tale. Leo only spoke his native language, and the idea of learning English seemed like a huge mountain he could never climb. Where would he even start? He felt a little embarrassed about his dream because it seemed so different from his simple life as a town baker. He kept the old cookbooks hidden under his bed, taking them out only at night when he was alone. He would trace the English words with his finger, whispering them softly. The desire to understand was a small flame inside him, and he wasn't sure how to make it burn brighter. One sunny afternoon, a new notice was posted on the town's community board. It was a simple, colorful flyer. It advertised an international baking competition. The grand prize was a trip to London and a special baking course at a famous culinary school there. When Leo saw the notice, his heart started to beat faster. This was it. This was a chance to make his dream come true. But there was a big challenge. To enter the competition, each baker had to submit their application and a short video introduction in English. Suddenly, his dream didn't feel like a secret anymore. It felt like a real and very scary possibility. Leo stood in front of the community board for a long time, just staring at the flyer. His hands felt cold. His stomach was full of nervous butterflies. The competition was in 6 months. Was that enough time to learn enough English to make a video? It seemed impossible. He thought about all the things that could go wrong. He might say the words incorrectly. People might laugh at his accent. He might fail completely. The fear was like a heavy blanket, making it hard to breathe. He turned away from the notice and walked slowly back to his bakery. The next morning, an old man named Mr. Garcia came into the bakery. "Leo, my boy, you look like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders," Mr. Garcia said kindly. "Is everything all right?" Leo decided to share his secret. He told him about his dream. When Leo finished, he didn't laugh. Instead, he smiled. "Leo, a dream that scares you a little is a dream worth chasing. Fear is just a sign that you are about to do something brave. Learning a new language is like baking a cake for the first time. You need the right ingredients, you need to follow the steps, and you need a little patience. You are the best baker in this town. You have the patience. I think you can do this." Mr. Garcia's words were like a ray of sunshine, cutting through the dark clouds of Leo's doubt. Inspired by Mr. Garcia's encouragement, Leo decided to take the first step. He went to the town library and looked for books on learning English. He found a section with colorful books for beginners. They had simple words and big pictures. That night, he sat at his kitchen table with the books open.
Hello.
My name is Leo. I am a baker. He repeated the words over and over again, trying to make them sound right. A few days later, a young woman with a bright, friendly smile came into the bakery. Leo had never seen her before.
Hello? Everything smells wonderful in here.
Leo's heart jumped. This was his chance to practice with a real person. It was only 2 words, but he felt a huge sense of accomplishment. The young woman's name was Clara. She was a university student from America, and she was traveling for the summer. She came back to the bakery every day. She loved Leo's pastries, and Leo loved listening to her speak English. He learned that she was studying to be a teacher.
Bread, cake, oven, flour.
Bread, cake, oven, flour. One afternoon, Clara saw the competition flyer that Leo had saved and pinned up behind the counter.
Oh, a baking competition in London. Are you going to enter?
Leo blushed and looked down at his shoes.
I want to, but my English is not good.
Clara smiled.
Your English is much better than you think it is. And besides, learning is a journey. Maybe I could help you. I am studying to be a teacher, and I need the practice. You can teach me how to bake, and I can help you with your English.
Leo's eyes widened in surprise and happiness. He couldn't believe her offer. It honestly felt like a gift from the universe.
Really? You would do that?
Of course, it will be fun. We can be a team.
And so, a wonderful partnership began. Every afternoon after the bakery closed, Leo and Clara would meet. Their lessons were not like a normal classroom. Warm, fragrant bakery kitchen, sacks of flour, bowls of sugar. Their special classroom, 2 different worlds together. Lessons, baking, Leo showing Clara how to make perfect bread dough. He taught her how to knead it with just the right pressure. He showed her how to know when it was ready to be baked. In return, Clara would teach him the English words for everything they were doing. We knead the dough. We pour the milk. We measure the sugar. Leo was a great student. He learned quickly because the words were connected to actions he knew so well. It was much more effective than just reading from a book. They also worked on the script for his competition video. At first, Leo was very shy about speaking in front of Clara's phone camera. He would forget the words and stumble over his pronunciation. But Clara was incredibly patient.
It's okay, Leo. Just be yourself. Tell them why you love baking. Speak from your heart. Your passion is a language that everyone can understand.
As the weeks passed, a beautiful friendship grew between them. They learned about each other's lives, families, dreams. Leo discovered that Clara dreamed of opening a small school one day for children in a country where education was not easily available. Clara learned that Leo was not just a baker, he was an artist whose creations brought joy to the entire town. They were no longer just a student and a teacher, they were friends, helping each other get one step closer to making their dreams a reality. The deadline for the competition was getting closer. Leo and Clara worked harder than ever. They practiced his English every single day. They started with simple conversations. How are you today, Leo? I am fine. Thank you. And you? They moved on to more complex topics. Clara asked about his baking process. Why do you add the eggs one at a time? Because it makes the cake light and fluffy, he explained carefully. Clara created fun learning games. She wrote English words on pieces of paper and stuck them all over the bakery. They played memory games, verb flashcards, and role-played being a customer in an English bakery. Leo started to think in English more and more. Sometimes he would even dream in English. The language that once seemed like an impossible mountain now felt like a familiar, friendly path he was enjoying walking on. He was still nervous, but now he was also excited. The biggest challenge was the video. They must have recorded it 50 times. In the first few attempts, Leo was stiff and looked scared. He read his lines like a robot. Clara would watch the playback with him. Okay, that was good, she would say gently. But let's try it again. Imagine you are just talking to me. Tell me your story. She reminded him to breathe and to let his natural warmth shine through. Slowly, with each take, Leo began to relax. He started to gesture with his hands, just like when he explained a recipe. His smile became genuine. Finally, they recorded the perfect take. In the video, Leo stood in his bakery, wearing his clean white apron. "Hello, my name is Leo. I am a baker from a small town. My dream is to learn the recipes from my grandmother's English cookbooks. Baking is not just my job, it is my passion. It is how I share happiness. I want to bring my passion to London." When they watched it back, they both knew it was the one. Leo's English wasn't perfect, but his passion was clear. He had spoken from the heart, just as Clara had taught him. With a deep breath and a shaking hand, Leo attached the video file to the online application form. Clara stood beside him, giving him a supportive smile. This was the final step. All their hard work had led to this single moment. He moved the mouse cursor over the submit button. He hesitated for a second, a wave of last-minute fear washing over him. "You can do it," Clara whispered. Leo closed his eyes, clicked the button, and sent his dream out into the world. The next few weeks were filled with nervous anticipation. Waiting for a reply was the hardest part. Every time the phone rang or an email notification popped up, Leo's heart would leap into his throat. One Tuesday morning, an official-looking email arrived. The subject line read, "London International Baking Competition." Leo's hands were trembling so much that he could barely open it. He read the first line and his face fell. "We regret to inform you." He didn't win the grand prize. "Read the rest of the email, Leo," she urged gently. He continued reading. The email said that while he had not won the grand prize, the judges had been incredibly impressed and moved by his video. They loved his passion and his story. They had created a special prize just for him. They were offering him a 2-week apprenticeship at a famous bakery in London's Notting Hill. It wasn't the big prize, but it was something even more personal, something even better. It was a chance to learn, hands-on, in a real London bakery. Leo read the email again, and this time his face broke into a huge, brilliant smile. The news spread quickly through the small town. Everyone was so proud of Leo. Mr. Garcia came into the bakery with tears in his eyes. "I knew you could do it, my boy," he exclaimed, giving Leo a big hug. Leo's trip to London was a dream come true. He worked in the busy bakery and his English improved every day. He learned how to make scones and trifles and Victoria sponge cakes from a real English master baker. He saw the big red buses and the old castles his grandmother had told him about. He sent postcards to Clara and Mr. Garcia every week. When he returned to his own small town, he was a different person. He was more confident, more skilled, and his heart was full of new experiences. He added a new section to his menu, Leo's English Corner, featuring the desserts he had learned to make. Leo's story is a wonderful reminder for all of us, isn't it? It shows that learning isn't always about winning the biggest prize. Sometimes the most valuable rewards are the ones we don't expect. He didn't win the grand prize, but he won something much more important. He won confidence. He won a new skill. He won a dear friend. He won the chance to live his dream. His journey began with a small, secret dream and a lot of fear. He took one small step, then another. He turned fear into an adventure that changed his life forever. Your journey with English is just like Leo's. You might have your own personal reasons for learning. Travel, a better job, understanding movies, connecting with family. Hold that reason close. Let it be your fuel. Every word you learn, every conversation you have, every mistake you make. Don't be afraid to be a beginner. Every expert was a beginner once. Find your own Clara. It can be a teacher, a language exchange partner, a helpful app, a community of fellow learners. Surround yourself with support and positivity. Be your own biggest supporter. Celebrate small victories. Don't compare. Your journey is your own. You have a special passion and a unique story to tell. Learning English is the key to sharing it with the world. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep dreaming. Your adventure is just beginning. What new worlds will you discover? Who will you meet? What will your story be? The next chapter is yours to write. It will be fantastic. Thank you for sharing this story. Keep practicing. The journey of learning is one of the greatest adventures of all. You can do it, but you don't have to take my word for it.